morning. Happy Monday. It is time for the Monday morning show, and I'm excited to hop in. Let me just get that a little smaller because it's Valentine's Day week, and we are going to talk today about ways that you can foster a healthy marriage, prioritize it, create routines in your marriage so that you're spending time together. Because here's the thing. My kids are little still, but it does not go over my head that someday they're going to be gone and it is just going to be me and my husband. And what you don't want is to get to that stage. And I know that maybe you have older kids. Post in the comments. I want to know, how old are your kids right now? Or are they already gone? And if you're already there, you probably feel it. You don't want it to be that all of a sudden the kids are gone and you've realized that you've just become roommates and that you don't know anything about each other and you don't have this passion and this love for each other. And that is when a lot of marriages struggle. The other reason it is super important to prioritize dating your spouse and just your marriage in general is because we are leaving a legacy for our kids of what marriage looks like. We are the ones who are showing our kids what a healthy marriage looks like. So if all they see is mom and dad on separate couches on their phones, that's how they're going to treat a future spouse, right? That's how they're going to see marriage. And we don't want that, right? And I think that it's very important we spend time putting our kids, I'm going to say it, maybe I'll ruffle a feather, but I'm sorry, not our kids, our spouses above our kids. We need to make sure that that is the relationship that we foster. In my mind, it's like my relationship with God, my relationship with my husband, and then my relationship with my kids. Now, I'm going to stop there. I had to realize these things because our marriage was looking exactly like I described. We felt like roommates. We were in passing. And the reason that happened was because we had let our schedules dictate how we treated each other in marriage. When my husband was out of work for 7 months, he was home. So we were able to spend a lot of time together and it was incredible. Then we came off of that and he started a job again, but we still needed more money because the job that he got, he didn't make as much. He made a lot, significantly less. So he took a second job. He was working delivering the newspapers and he would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. He would go deliver the newspaper. He would be home by 5:30, work out, shower, pray, go to work. He's a school principal. He would come home and just fall asleep at the dinner table. And that was actually one of the reasons I took a part-time job last January, was because I saw the toll it was taking on my husband, on our marriage. We never saw each other. We were just passing ships. And it was really, really detrimental to what we were doing. And so I took a part-time job. So now we have a different roadblock because we are on different schedules sometimes. I have changed my availability, but for most of the year up until last month, I worked 6 to 10 during the week some nights and on the weekends. So we did become passing ships again, but this time was different. This time I decided, let's try it differently. And I said to my husband, can we come up with some creative ways to date each other, to treat each other like we did when we were dating? And I know it's Valentine's Day week, so take these things after Valentine's Day and then make it a catalyst. I probably should have saved my shirt for Valentine's Day, but make it a catalyst for moving forward, things that you can do. So what we do is we've created a goal. So at the beginning of the year, we made a goal for it. And I know that people are like, you have to make a goal for everything. You need to make a routine. Well, yeah, if you want it to become something that's important. What we track, what we plan for is what we prioritize because it's what's important. So if you're not making a goal around how you're going to spend time intentionally with your spouse, it's not going to happen. When was the last time you did have a date with your spouse? You can put that in the comments too. I'd love to know. Is it something you prioritize? And we have to be really intentional. I'm just being super truthful. When my kids go to bed, my inclination is to open my laptop and work. And many nights I do work. Many nights I do coaching calls, and so it's difficult. But if he's like, let's watch a movie, I want to open my computer. I want to work. And if we don't prioritize our marriage, for me, I know months will pass and we'll not have spent any one-on-one time together. And then I feel the tug. And so it's February 10th today. We've not had our date night for the month. Our goal is 2 a month, and I feel it. Yesterday, I was at church, and I just was streaming tears because I feel the devil like trying to come at my family, and I feel them trying to get a wedge between me and Ron. And I realized that part of it was that I wasn't living up to the goal we set out. We hadn't had any dates this month so far. It's been 10 days, and we need that one-on-one time, you know? And if we don't have, quote, a date, and I'll talk about what a date looks like for us and what it could look like for you, I feel that wedge between us. So we've created a goal of having 2 dates a month. One is just inside the house. We try to make it so it's not watching TV because, like I said, then I want to do my computer. He's going to be on his phone. We love board games, so we'll play a board game together, have a glass of wine, like just hang out together. And then the other one, we try to go out of the house where we can have a date and even sometimes like talk about our budget or talk about our goals and our dreams. Like, when is the last time you asked your spouse, hey, what's a dream or a goal that you have for this year, right? And I asked Ron this earlier in the year when we were setting our intentions, and he was like, I don't really have any personal goals. He like named a couple other, like a health goal and a work goal. And I encouraged him, and I just said, hey, maybe make a goal right now. Like, maybe come up with a really good personal goal for you so I can hold you accountable to it, okay? So you want this to be time in your marriage where you're laughing, you're having fun. Find what your spouse's love language is. There's a love language test that you can take so that you can figure out the ways to date them the way that they want to date. Mine is words of affirmation. My husband very much knows that. And my husband's love language is physical touch. And it's not just about sex. It's about just like, I know that if I walk by him, I'll like rub my hand on his back, or if we're sitting next to each other on the couch, like he doesn't want to be sitting apart. He wants to sit together. And so go and Google it. There's a love language test. You can take it, figure out dates you can do that fit that love language. Now, there's tons of things you can do on a budget as well, and I've linked over there 28 date nights that are free and cheap. You can print them out for the year. You can put them up on the wall. That's what we have, and then you can pick. So you can alternate who picks which date night, what it really looks like. You can do things like game nights, or, we like to play video games. My husband got a Raspberry Pi, and it has all of the video games like ever on it. So we play tons of Super Mario together now, because I don't love Madden, but I love Super Mario. So we've had to find a compromise, right? Like, he likes video games. I don't love the video games he wants to play all the time, but we found ones that we can do together. You can do scavenger hunts around the house, Nerf gun fights. You can do, my husband loves puzzles together. There are tons of ways to spend time together when the kids go to bed, so you don't have to pay for a sitter, and you can do it in the house. And if you're thinking like, well, what do I do? How do I get a good date night out? We don't have a lot of money in our budget. Go to Groupon. Find a hobby together. Find something you want to enjoy. You can most definitely find something that fits your budget. I also recommend alternating who picks. So if in January we had a goal of 1 date night in, 1 date night out, then I would pick date night in, he would pick date night out. And then in February we swap. This allows it to not be just something we as the wives do. Because I think a lot of times we expect our husbands to show up in the same way that we show up. And it's not, but if you have these clear expectations, like, listen, if this is what we're doing, I'm in charge of this side of the date night, you're in charge of that side of the date night. It's in their court. Maybe you do have to do a reminder or two, to just, I don't know, to just encourage them. But remember, they're not going to do it the same way you're going to do it. Marriage is not 50-50. It's 100-100. You both have to be willing to put it in. And we can't just do things expecting our husbands to read our minds, right? So they show up. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is to not only try a date night in and a date night out every month, is also to have weekly dates, weekly meetings where you're having a budget meeting. So on Sundays, we sit and we look at the budget for the week. We look at our schedule. Hey, who's picking kids up where? So that we're on the same page. And then we do a little goal check-in. Hey, what do you want to do? We dream a lot together. And I think that's key and important. So yes, it's Valentine's Day week. And honestly, we don't have anything planned. Interestingly, we'll probably try to do like a date night during the day on Monday because he has off of work for President's Day. And I work all weekend. So we have nothing planned, and that's okay, because for us, it's not just about Valentine's Day. And even I told him, I said, please don't even buy me a card. Cards are like $8. No, I don't want a card. And truthfully, I'm trying to declutter. Like, I'm just going to throw it out. Like, I'm not sentimental like that. I don't want a gift. What I want is time with him. Because honestly, at this point, we've been married 6 years. If I want something and it fits in our budget, like I'll just buy it for myself, right? Like, would it be sweet if he thought of something? Sure. But I know my husband, and that's not part of who he is. I've learned that over the years. And instead of getting upset that he doesn't get me a gift or isn't, and it's just not his thing, I just know it's not his thing. So if I want something, it's in our budget, I buy it for myself. I'm not gonna wrap it and pretend it's from him. I'm just like, this is what I want, right? But if he wants to buy something, that's cool, but I don't expect it. I don't. Okay. And I think that allows the expectations to be different for our marriage, where I'm not getting angry and upset because he's not living up to this unrealistic expectation. Often in a marriage, we feel like it's our spouse's job to be perfect, to fill in our holes, to perfect us, but it's not. That's God's job. And we have to stop putting all this pressure on them. But I'm going to encourage you this week to do something. Maybe Valentine's Day is your catalyst. Make it a routine. Make it a habit. Don't be like, Kara makes everything a routine. Yes, I do, because once it becomes a routine, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It just happens naturally. But what if you could flirt more with your spouse? Send flirty texts during the day. I love sending him like a little GIF or an emoji. I try to send him one every day. I try to tell him every day, I love you. And again, this isn't so that I'm like waiting for him to send me a flirty text back or tell me he loves me or that I look like, it's not about that. I do it to show up for my spouse. And if he shows up for me, then I'm excited about it. And once you release that, I think you can have a strong marriage. And now, obviously, if there are things missing that you need to communicate them. I like to tell my husband, hey, I could use this. This is what I need. But you have to build that, right? But if you could flirt more, if you could have more joy and just be like happier at home, wouldn't it be amazing? So listen, I've linked up to 28 date nights that are free or cheap. You can grab them for this week. You can print it out. You can use it as a bucket list for you and your family. It's over in this post, and I'll make sure if you want it and you're watching on Instagram, just send me a DM. I'll send you that link, and it's all yours. But I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. And I just really, I don't know, I just hope that you enjoy your spouse more, because it's going to be you two for a long time, and you want to make sure you know them, you know their hopes, you know their dreams, you know who they are as people, you know what they've got going on, and it's not just, hey, how was your day? Hey, how was your day? Hi, bye. And again, seasons are like that. They happen, and that's okay. But it's about not making it the norm. It's about saying our marriage is going to be different because we prioritize each other. So have a wonderful day. Again, if you're on Instagram and you want that link, send me a DM. If you're here with me over on Facebook, it's right over in the comments. Here we go. I think I can put it, yep, right over in the comments for you. Go snag it. Have a good Valentine's Day, and I will talk to you soon.